Hello, I'm Delaney Berlin, Association Director of Risk Management at the Y of Greater Richmond. In this video, I will share with you some of the new and continuing requirements under the Americans with Disabilities Act, which I will refer to as the ADA throughout this training video. This federal law provides businesses like our Y with requirements for the access of disabled persons to all Y programs and services. The ADA's access requirements that were recently changed or added include providing access to our Y facilities that are barrier-free, access for the service animals and mobility devices of disabled persons, and access to Y information for the hearing, vision, and speech impaired. There are many barriers that could restrict access of disabled persons. The recent revisions to the ADA law specifically address access of disabled persons to our pools, playgrounds, camps, and fields. Our association office will be constantly assessing any of these barrier removal projects, as well as any others that come to light, and will carry out projects that are easily accomplished and without much difficulty or expense as required under the ADA law. But in the event that a disabled person points out an architectural barrier, please consult with your branch executive director or operations director. If the matter cannot be resolved at the branch level, contact the director of risk management at the association office. Updates to the ADA law also address the accommodation of service animals. Until recently, service animals have generally meant dogs, but a new type of animal, miniature horses, are now specifically mentioned in the law as a service animal. Service animals are allowed in our Ys to assist disabled persons with work or tasks that are directly related to the individual's disability. And these service animals must be allowed to go wherever members can go. In the event that a disabled person visits our Y with a service animal, do not ask the extent of the disabled person's disability. But it is okay to ask if the service animal is required because of a disability and to ask what work the service animal has been trained to perform. The ADA law does allow our Y to require that the service animal must be kept under control and must be housebroken. In addition, the service animal must be leashed or harnessed, unless doing so interferes with their ability to perform for their disabled person. In the case of the miniature horse, the horse must not pose any risk to the safe operation of our Y, and our facilities must be able to accommodate its size and shape. However, if any service animal, whether dog or miniature horse, poses a direct threat to the safety of the disabled person while in our Y or to the safety of others in our Y, the Y is not required to permit them access. And if you are ever not sure whether the service animal of a disabled person should be allowed access to our Y, please consult with your branch executive director or operations director. If the matter cannot be resolved at the branch level, contact the director of risk management at the association office. Besides service animals for the disabled, mobility devices are addressed in the revised ADA law. As always, our Y allows the use of manually operated and electrically powered wheelchairs, as well as all other manually operated devices like walkers, canes, or crutches. In addition, under the ADA law, the Y is required to allow all other electrically powered, power-driven mobility devices like Segways, which happen to be directly referenced in the law. For the Segway device specifically, for the safety of all of our members, Segways are only allowed in our Ys when there are traditionally fewer members present, like late morning, early afternoon, and late evening operating hours. But the Y is not required and will not allow gas-powered mobility devices in all golf carts. In the event a disabled person arrives in a mobility device, remember, do not ask the nature or extent of the disabled person's disability. But it's okay to ask if the disabled person has a valid state-issued disability placard or card, or some other state-issued proof of disabilities. Or you can ask if the disabled person can offer verbal affirmation, not contradicted by what you can see with your own eyes, that the mobility device is for the individual's disability. Again, if the use of any mobility device poses a direct threat to the safety of the disabled person while in our Y, or to the safety of others in our Y, the Y is not required to permit them access. Remember, if you are ever not sure whether the mobility device of a disabled person should be allowed access to our Y, please consult with your branch executive director or operations director. If the matter cannot be resolved at the branch level, contact the Director of Risk Management at the association office. Beyond removing barriers and allowing animals or devices that make it easier for disabled persons to move around in our Y, the ADA law requires the Y to give them effective and timely access to Y information. This is especially valuable for individuals that have hearing, vision, and speech disabilities. In most cases, using common sense and being helpful will give them the access they need. As an example, for hearing impaired persons, communicate by written message or point to signage in the building. For vision impaired persons, recite membership applications or any applicable signage. This provision in the law also requires effective access to Y information via phone. Hearing and speech disabled persons can communicate via telephone using Virginia Relay or 711. On their end, they type the questions into a text telephone that uses a go-between, a relay operator, to communicate with the end user, in this case, you. So be patient, there will be delays as the relay operator communicates the message of the hearing or speech impaired person that is using the text telephone device. When the relay operator relays the message of the disabled person, talk as if you are communicating directly with the disabled person, not the relay operator. Finally, say yes, go ahead when you are ready for the message and when you are finished with your message. In the event that a disabled person's complaints cannot be resolved informally with the branch, like with your branch's executive or operations director, or otherwise with the Director of Risk Management at the association office, the disabled person also has the option to file a formal complaint in writing within 30 days to the Senior Vice President and Chief Financial Officer at our association office at 2 West Franklin Street, Richmond, Virginia, 23220. The letter should contain the name of the disabled person, their address, the alleged violation of the ADA, and the remedy the person is seeking. These formal complaint procedures are also posted in your branch, and copies are kept at the membership desk. Thank you for watching this video about the important requirements under the ADA law and for providing an environment where we can truly be open to all.